a bit of time, the Ugandan bourse has not been faring quite well, and this is seen partly in the small volumes of stock that are traded on the different counters, but then also the not so good performance of several IPOs. And these IPOs, remember, have blue chip companies involved. So in our subsequent stories in this show, we'll be picking the mind of one of the experts of the industry to find out why is this the case. It is Money and Markets. I'm Charles Ward, your host. Welcome. And remember, this show is sponsored by Emirates.
You want to talk business? Meet me in the On-Board Lounge.
There's no doubt that Uganda is among the biggest producers of coffee globally. In Africa, we sit up there. But the dividends from this critical crop are not trickling down to the person at the grassroots as they should. Now, we're asking ourselves, why is this the case? And what can be done to ensure that there is fair sharing of the benefits from this crop?
One of the factors that has led to the increase in coffee production and exports has been the vast mobilization at political level by His Excellency the President, explaining to the farmers, to the public, that coffee is a profitable commodity. But we have also seen the role of the religious institutions, especially the churches themselves, who have become role models. You see some of the churches which have planted coffee on the church land and also mobilizing some households, some of the people in the rated to be also key agents in planting coffee. We have seen the mobilization of cultural institutions, especially the kingdoms, mobilizing the masses to plant coffee. But also very important is that government over the years has been providing free seedlings to the farmers until recently. But what we see is that very little coffee has been planted in the last 2 years because the government incentive on provision of seedlings has stopped. So even when farmers want to plant coffee, they don't know where to get the coffee, and because the nurseries, which were operating by knowing that UCDA was going to buy the coffee seedlings and distribute to the farmers, they have abandoned these nurseries. So the government needs to rethink on how they can incentivize the farmers to access the seedlings. As UCDA, we have approached the European Union, who have supported us with matching grants, where seedlings are not completely free. A farmer pays a fee. But when you pay a fee and the seedlings are available, the nursery operators know that at least there is a source of planting material. We have seen that actually the household surveys which have been conducted have found that farmers on average, their earnings from coffee has increased, and therefore the coffee in many households is being seen as a cash cow, as a reliable source of income, season per season. And the prices of coffee has been increasing over the years. The last 3 years has seen that many farmers are selling coffee at very high price. So year in, year out, coffee has proven to be stable in terms of bringing household incomes, and therefore it's not the traders alone who are earning out of the coffee, but also farmers have seen an increment in prices, and that is becoming an incentive. UCDA provides a price transparency system. Every morning by 9 o'clock, UCDA staff have looked at the price at New York market, that is the United States, that's the biggest buyer of Arabica coffee, but also had looked at London, and they have seen the market price for Robusta is at that level. This information from the price at New York and London is we translate it to the farmers who are registered with us or who know the code we use for accessing coffee prices. They can now access that price to know the price of the previous day and then determine how much they should be selling. So we provide the price discovery method. We have an incentive that we discriminate these prices for those who are registered with us. And the farmers can also log in and or send SMS to a code which UCD operates and can know the price in which they can sell at farm level. We are looking at mobilizing farmers at regional level, where this information we are sharing at central level can be simplified and shared with the farmers and other coffee value chain actors in rural areas. So much as traditionally we've been using the radio and TVs, there's retro focus at regional level. So we are looking at moving down to the regional level, talking to the farmers directly using local radios in those areas, and ensuring that the information about coffee, especially profitability, especially about the agronomy of the coffee, especially variation, those kind of lessons can be shared at the regional level. By last financial year, as I mentioned, the industry collected up to 850 million US dollars. That is as a sector, but the money which went to the consolidated fund of that is 2%. Now that 2% is translated to around 61.2 billion Uganda shillings was directly transferred to the consolidated fund in Uganda.
Activity at the Uganda Securities Exchange has been challenged for a bit of time now. And the question we're asking is, why is this the case? And how do we get more activity at the bourse? Uganda's new cities are now placing more investment into the tourism subsector as they look to tapping into Uganda's progressive tourism industry, currently standing at over $1 billion and a major contributor to Uganda's GDP. Among these is Jinja and Fort Portal, with Jinja today emerging, according to pundits, as the most visited city by tourists in the country and is keenly looking at selling itself as a major festival destination in the East African region.
So of all, nyege, the word itself makes the business community to be happy, because once they converge and they are together, they are always happy. They keep on dancing. Though people may think that nyege in another way all around. But the business community is very happy to host this event in Jinja City as a whole. First of all, they are very ready. When it comes to trade, the small and medium enterprises are very ready to come and do business within the banks of the source of River Nile.
Structure in Jinja and other things and businesses have been improved because of this festival. There's so many international artists, so many people are gaining through this festival. I'm talking about a border guy, a chapat vendor, a mama wa kasoli, a fumba kasoli, everything. People get to try out our Ugandan cuisines, Ugandan food, Ugandan culture, and you know how we are the most happy and most hospitable, people, most welcoming people.
The city has for years leveraged the source of the Nile and marine tourism in general, and has today added festivals to attract visitors from across the world. The festival is today a major calendar event for the city and a boost to the economy of Jinja.
Business community has been very responsive. They are anticipating a lot of opportunities from this event. So we have had a number of people refurbishing their their facilities. Others are expanding them. Others have employed more people, so employment also has gone up. Then others are trying to come up with other creative ways of investing in this sector to make sure that they harvest from the event.
To tourism observers, Jinja's attractiveness has not been in sync with its infrastructure growth rate, which in some cases barred it from optimizing its potential as a good destination.
The hospitality industry, real estate into hotel, the hotels here are not enough, and some of them don't meet the international required standards. So those are areas of investment. If ventured into, somebody will always, have it good.
Now, one, we need support on the roads. But fortunately, at the moment, government has given us support of 17 billion shillings to promote the private industry in Jinja. And this money is particularly for the development of source of the Nile. So we are developing modern facilities at the source of the Nile to bring it to the international standards. And the site is being handed over to the contractor next week to make sure that the development start.
Before the pandemic, Uganda recorded about $1.6 billion, nearly 6 trillion Uganda shillings, from tourism. Recent statistics by the Ministry of Tourism show that the country recorded a 59% increase in international visitor arrivals to 814,000 in 2022. This signals recovery. And now, with such festivals becoming global calendar events and attracting multitudes, regions including Jinja are set to see great trickle-down effect, which will drive wider recovery across sectors and at a wider economy level.